Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Good Intentions with Lisa-Tien. That is me. I had a couple of hours in my gap or in my schedule today at work, so I didn't have enough time to get back here and go to the gym. And then I was like, wow, like I could just hang out in the car and watch Vampire Diaries or read because I brought my book, but I was just like, let's just drive home, let's just record an episode and then call it a day and then go back. I am feeling very ADHD today, and I think it's cuz I could not go to sleep last night. Also, I just don't have much to talk about lately. So, I just recently started listening to Lewis House's podcast again because I feel like the last 2 months since I've been smoking or eating edibles that I really haven't been listening to any of the personal development podcasts. I've mostly just been listening to music. And it gets me on a vibe. It gets me feeling some type of way, which is on the up and up. But I really haven't been honed in on the personal development stuff. Not really meditating either. So are we back on our bullshit? Because I feel like the last 2 months have completely just flown by and I haven't really done much anything like super productive. Not that I haven't done anything that wasn't productive. Overall, I think I'm done with my bullshit, honestly. Like yesterday, I DoorDashed some ramen. And I think I'm kind of over it because for almost a year now, I have been addicted to ramen since I want to say last summer, but it's even been before that. Like at least once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I will really crave ramen and I'll really want to get it. If I DoorDash something, most of the time it is ramen or sushi. I'm kind of over sushi too, over ramen. And then Justin and I went out to eat. After our walk, we went to Sicky's because Sicky's was so good. Like their burgers and their appetizers, the few times that I've gone. And that time we went, everything was trash. Like, I'm not one to complain about food, but the fact that we were high and the fact that we were like really excited, we don't really go out to eat often or together, and we were really pumped. Like the only thing that was good was the cheese curds, and that's something that I was really wanting, so I guess I'm glad that at least that was good. But the burger I got was meh. Like I had seen that they had this donut burger and I have been wanting to try it. I don't know why. It's giving fair food, and I got it. I mean, it was decent. I ended up eating it without the bun, and the meat itself was good, but like the sweet potato fries were meh. Justin got like a pepperoni pizza burger. It was like, eh. And then he got a couple other things. Like the mac and cheese was kind of gross, actually. And then he got, I think, wings that he said also wasn't good. And then buffalo chicken dip, which was like pretty okay. But for all of the food that we got, at least the drinks were good. I got a Bloody Mary. Yeah, after that, I was just like, it's just not hitting. And the ramen that I ordered yesterday just didn't really hit. I've been eating my meal preps. I ate all of my meal preps, mostly all of it, this whole last week. So I was like, okay, it's the weekend. Maybe if I do want to eat out, I can just wait until the weekend at least. So that's what I did. But you know what? It just didn't hit. So I think we are getting off of our bullshit, which is pretty amazing, which is what I need, what it needs to be done because it's the end of April and these last 2 months have just gone by and I haven't really, haven't been tracking my meals. I've been eating out. I've been eating sugar. I've been drinking. And summer hasn't even started yet, so I'm already on the bullshit. But we're reeling it back in. I think I had a coffee a little late in the day yesterday, so whenever I tried to go to sleep last night, I couldn't. I don't know exactly what time I went to sleep, but I remember kind of just laying there and like dreaming, but also not really fully asleep yet. The dream was kind of crazy. It was giving whatever stuff that they go through in the Vampire Diaries, because I've been binge watching the Vampire Diaries, obviously, if y'all listened to the last episode, but minus like the murder and the death in the vampires. But it was giving like that same kind of energy, like something's going down, we need to figure it out. And I think if we were in an arcade setting or something like that, but I could just feel my eyes like kind of like fluttering, and that's when I know. But eventually I fell asleep. I'm really glad that I didn't get up to take a Xanax, because I just haven't been doing that. Like, I just have these from the last time my doctor prescribed them, and I haven't really been taking them, which is good, because you just don't really need to, or I just don't need to. So eventually I fell asleep, which was also very strange because I did smoke a lot yesterday. Your girl bought some more pre-rolls, even though in the last episode I said I was kind of done with it, but it was a weekend. I think it was Sunday, and I was like, oh my God, like I kind of feel weird not having that. And everything kind of just worked out. I like left the gym. I was going to go pick up some food somewhere new because I wanted ramen on Sunday. And I was like, well, I'm not going to DoorDash, so I might as well just drive there. But the ramen place that I order from is in South Lake, and I just could not wrap my head around driving all the way out to South Lake to pick up some ramen and driving all the way back. Like, I'll DoorDash it, which I did yesterday, but anyway, so Sunday I was really craving it, but I was like, oh, let's just try something else. So I tried this Japanese place, which I don't think I'll eat at again because immediately had to go to the bathroom. But the food was pretty all right. The sushi was meh, but I got like a kid's hibachi, like steak hibachi with some udon noodles, which actually was really good. And I got a side of scallops, so all of that was good. And on the way to pick up the food, I had just briefly looked to see if there was a smoke shop. And I saw, like, on the drive that there was a smoke shop. So I stopped there. I bought a pack of pre-rolls, which comes with 2. And then in the same strip, there was, like, this cutesy boba bites place. And I went to check it out. They had, it's just a kind of like a Vietnamese Asian style coffee. So they had like a bunch of coffees or boba drinks on the menu, and I just got a coffee, and it was it was okay. I should have just gotten the regular Vietnamese coffee, but they had the egg coffee, which I loved in Vietnam, so I got that, and it was all right. So we did a little gallivanting on Sunday, and then yesterday was Monday. You guys, I have not been going to the gym. I did not go to the gym yesterday. I kind of just woke up. I woke up late. I woke up at 10. Ugh. And then I had a stretch session at 11. So I did not have enough time to work out before. And I was like, I could totally work out after. But I just wasn't feeling it. And the week before, every day I did work out. I think I maybe went to the gym like 3 times last week or 4. Every lift session, it was just like, like it was kind of just like I was dreading every lift. I just felt tired and fatigued. I just started my period, so I kind of it just felt like I was just like pushing through, like just trying to get through it and trying to be done. So I wasn't really feeling it on Monday. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a recovery day. And I slept through my gym alarm today. So I also didn't go to the gym today. And that's what happened last week. Like, this is the 3rd time I've slept through my gym alarm, and it's because I have been staying up watching Vampire Diaries and I need to go to bed early. So we are gonna be doing that. This just cannot be an issue. This is why I can't have nice things. Like, that is just my vice, is just binge watching TV. And if I find or have a show that I just become addicted to, I just don't want to go to sleep. This is why I have not watched Grey's Anatomy. This is why I have not watched, what's that one show where they like make meth or some shit? Anything new or anything that's like really good and has a ton of seasons that everybody loves. And if I haven't seen it yet, I can't, because I know myself. Like, I haven't watched any Law and Order or any of that because I will not go to sleep. Like, it is all that I will want to do. And that's ADHD for you. So even when I'm rewatching a show that I've already seen, like Vampire Diaries, several times from beginning to end, I'm actually kind of tired right now. So, I guess this episode is going to be about just being kind to yourself, because I am. Also, I was editing last week's episode and I've been saying a lot, and I'm going to try really hard not to do that, because when did I start saying that? I almost said it again. But yeah, so if you're trying to achieve your goals and you fall off, just be compassionate to yourself. Like, don't be hard on yourself. Don't talk negatively to yourself. Don't say, oh, you're being lazy, or why can't you do this? There you go. It's just toxic. It's just not a vibe for yourself. And it might motivate you into getting your shit together, but it motivates you. It's like a negative, what's the word? Like a negative reinforcement. It's like you can't hate yourself or hate your body into losing weight, is something that some women will try to do. Like, they look at their bodies, they hate it, they don't want to look like that. So they are motivated in a negative way because they don't like how they look. So they're using that as a motivation to change and to shift. But that's not going to stick. It's not, because you are going to plateau. You are going to fall off a little bit. Progress is not linear. So on those plateaus, or during those, I don't even call it lows, but life happens. And you kind of just ride it out. As long as you're aware and you get yourself back into your routine, life happens. You're not going to be perfect. No one goes to the gym 5 to 7 days consistently all the time, because you are going to burn out. And I'm wondering if I'm just feeling a little burnt out. And that's a great time for you to have like a deload week. Maybe not going, and I'm going to keep noticing myself saying, but changing it up. If you lift 4 to 5 days a week and you're starting to feel burnt out, taking more of a rest day, taking more rest days, or being active in different ways. So yesterday I didn't go to the gym, and like walking sometimes is kind of boring if I'm just walking around the neighborhood. I love to walk on a trail, but I also am just not motivated to go drive to a trail to walk unless I'm going with someone. So I haven't roller skated in a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna roller skate. And I did, and it was so much fun. I was skating for an hour, just outside, moving, feeling the breeze and listening to my music, and it was great. And I loved it. And I was kind of concerned for my feet getting a little fucked up, but they're okay. And just being productive in other ways. Like, I did all my meal preps yesterday, and I cleaned, and laundry was already done on Sunday. I redid my lashes, I redid my toes, doing making time for other things. That way you are getting things done instead of, it'd be different if you're vegging out every day instead of doing something productive. If that is the case, then you may have to just take a look at how you're actually feeling, why you may not want to do anything, but also just continuing to be kind and compassionate to yourself, because there obviously is a reason if someone is completely burnt out, if you've been on this like emotional high or whatever, sometimes you need a little week break, as long as it is just that. And for me, yes, it has been about a week coming back from Houston, just kind of feeling like tired, also not going to bed early. Eventually all of that catches up, so it's starting to catch up to me on top of being on my period. So taking a deload week, maybe if you're still wanting to go to the gym, maybe just not lifting as heavy, just toning down the intensity also can help, and not feeling bad about it, because sometimes I can get in my head, like, oh, this is like really heavy right now. Why is it heavy when last week I can do this at this many reps and today I can only do this weight at this many reps? Your body goes through changes. If your diet isn't on point, if your sleep isn't on point, if your water intake isn't on point, all of that is going to affect your body and your mind. So just being conscious of all of that and making the necessary adjustments. That way you can shift your mindset, do things differently, improve. So me noticing that I'm falling into this, and I don't want to say falling into this rut, but yes, I am taking a deload week, or I have been unconsciously, and just noticing that and being like, you know what, I feel like I need this, because I have been on it. And physically, diet could definitely be better. But there have been a few days where I just haven't really been eating as much, especially on the days that I have taken my Vyvanse. So that also affects your input and output at the gym as well. So just being aware of all of those factors instead of just simply seeing that, oh, I'm not doing as much. What's wrong with me? What am I doing? Blah, 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 blah. Just be kind to yourself. Be a friend to yourself. And that is something that's so important, because sometimes I do get into one of those moods where I'm feeling some type of way about myself, right? So let's use this as an example. Whenever I was recovering from my boobs surgery, I just felt so blah because I couldn't work out. I couldn't really do much other than walk, on top of I'm eating a lot. Yeah, I almost said, So like, I'm not really cooking. I don't really want to. And I have just been door dashing or eating out. And when you do that enough, you start to really feel it in your body. And I was just not like in the best headspace, I guess. And I was texting the group chat or one of my best friends about it. And she was like, you just had surgery. Like, you've just been opened up, sewed back up, whatever. And like, now you're recovering from that, not working for 2 weeks, literally just sitting around watching One Tree Hill, eating edibles and my medications and stuff. Like, and I think at that time also I was online as well. So all of that. So talking to my friend about it, and then her telling me, you legit just had surgery. You can't even work right now. You can't even lift your arms. Like, you're fine. Whenever you are fully recovered, you can get back to it. And I sure did get back to it. The day that I was able to do upper body was a day I was so happy to be alive. I mean, but sometimes you go through different seasons in life and you kind of just have to ride it out. Be aware of what is happening and what's going on and just write it out and make little steps towards being better or improving in any kind of way. And again, being a friend to yourself along the way. Because we are with ourselves more than we are with other people when we're alone, you know? So it's just being aware of the thoughts that you are having as well. Because if you're just by yourself and all of your thoughts are negative thoughts, or they're critical or they're mean towards yourself, your subconscious will start to believe the things that you say. Even if you are joking, your subconscious doesn't know what's real or what's not real. It just hears whatever is being said and it just sinks in. So if you're constantly saying, oh, I'm lazy, oh, I'm not doing this, oh, I'm blah, 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 then your subconscious is going to believe that you are lazy and believe that you're not able to achieve whatever it is that you want to because of X, Y, and Z. So there's that. I feel like I had like 2 points that I wanted to make this episode. Also, I feel like this episode is so low energy right now, and I'm sorry if it's boring, you guys, but I'm just very tired. I can't wait. So I got to go back to work for one more color client, and then I'll be heading back home, and I'll be, of course, watching The Vampire Diaries, and I will be sleeping early. And I'm going to challenge myself to not smoke until the weekend because having ADHD is just one of those things where alcohol isn't an issue for me. You know, I don't have alcohol at home actually, but if I did have this bottle of tequila that I bought for one of my friends' sisters for her birthday, but then I didn't bring it. I just left it in my car. So then I had it in the house until this next event for someone else's birthday to give it to her. And it's just in the house, and I don't think to myself, oh, should I drink it? You know, that's just not me. But when it comes to edibles, when it comes to pre-rolls, when it comes to vapes, if it's around, I'm going to hit it. And that is just, or even chips. Can't keep them in the house because I will have to eat them or ingest them until they're gone. And that's ADHD. And me and self-control and no impulse control or whatever. So I'm going to really challenge myself because I did say that I wasn't going to buy any more pre-rolls, and literally the next day I did. So, but yeah, very low energy. So I apologize, you guys. I guess the second point is something that I just was thinking about this morning. Actually, I was on my way to work, and you know me, I love being Delulu. I love just imagining like my whole future with this next person for fun, without even trying. Like my brain will just go off. Anyway, the crush that I have on the client who I'm going to ask out when he comes in. And I'm like picturing us dating or going on a date or whatever. And it's not really specific to him. It's just specific in how I am now is I'm not going to hook up with him on the first date, second, third, whatever. Like that is, I haven't had a desire to hook up with anybody. Like since the whole debacle with Side Piece and the Snapchat shit, since that's been done, I have not had this need to have validation from anybody, which you fucking know what? That's a fucking slay. I don't think I completely processed what that meant when I was thinking about it this morning. But that to me is next level shit, because whenever I was on Snapchat with side piece or with this other guy that I was snapping that we weren't ever really going to meet, and then like this other cutie guy who we also weren't ever going to meet, but like the snapping back and forth and the little dopamine hits that you get and the validation when they are just sending you like heart eyes emojis, and it is nothing serious by any means, but how I would feel. So one of the other guys kind of just like dropped off, and how I felt in the moment of realizing, oh, I don't have like anyone to send pictures to or whatever, when you can really just send pictures to your friends. But with him, we were snapping all day, every day, and that was just fun. And then it stopped. And then I felt some type of way, and then it kind of got over it, and then it was back to side piece and us snapping each other, and that whole fucking trauma bond, because yeah, y'all already know. But since that has ended, I have not cared or needed validation from anybody. So when I talk about sweet baby angel or this client or my gym crushes or whatever, like I know I get very like excited in when I'm speaking about it because I'm ADHD and it's a very exciting topic. But on the real, what I really feel, and let's just use one example and we can use like sweet baby angel, is when I think about him or think about like the potential of what could be, it's not this feeling of like, that's what I need. It's not this feeling of, I want it to happen so badly, and if it doesn't happen, then like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And that's how I've always been. So this time around, it's very much like, oh, we're going to manifest whatever it may be with him, or whoever. It's just this thought, this idea of having this pure, healthy, compassionate, amazing love with someone, but it's not like this need. It's not something that I have to have to complete me. It's just something that I want, something that I'm going to manifest, something I know I will have, right? But it's not something that's going to complete me. It's not me being thirsty for this person. It's not me going out of my way to do whatever I can for this person to like fall in love with me. And wow, what a moment. I'm actually very proud of myself, because how I've always been, even when I think about, even when it was 6 months ago or whatever, when I was online doing the whole online dating thing, and then realizing actually I'm emotionally unavailable and I am really just looking for validation, and then deleted the apps. But that's how I have always been. And I think I spoke about this in one of the episodes, but it's just, okay, you meet someone and they're like really attractive and you're like really into them and you go out on a date. And my instant is, I'm going to sleep with him. I'm going to sleep with him. I don't care. I want to have fun. I'm going to sleep with him. And then it's just done. And me knowing that once I sleep with this person, they either could be into it and want to see me again, or they might not. And if they don't want to see me again, then, whatever, it's fine. But like, what is it about me, or what was the reason of me always wanting to like sleep with this person? And I just have no desire for that. If Sweet Baby Angel hits me up again, I would love to go out, depending on if I'm available or not. But like, I don't want to hook up, and I'm not going to. And when I asked this guy on a date, the client, and he says yes, and it's just going to be a date. Like, I don't want to come over. I don't want to put myself in a position where where it's going to be like awkward, But I was just thinking about that this morning. And wow, like, who is she? And even back then, I would just get back onto the apps if I kind of felt some type of way, like where I would really just want to hook up, and I would go through that phase where that is all I'm looking for. And I just don't even want that either anymore. Like, that was fun back then, but now we respect ourselves and we want something different in life. If hooking up is something that somebody enjoys, go off. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying anything negative about that. It's just as it pertains to me, I've just decided a while ago, I guess at the beginning of this year, that's just not something that I want to do anymore, because that's something I've always done. And once you are physically intimate with another person, for women anyway, your body releases these hormones, and it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel like you have this more of an attraction than you actually might with this person. It does confuse you, and you will not see if you actually like this person, if they're actually a good person, because you've already had sex with them and you've already had this connection that isn't the same kind of connection that they feel, that men feel. It's different. And again, I've already spoken about this in one of the episodes where I was referring to why men love bitches, and how, unfortunately, whether they're aware or not aware, it is kind of a game for them. It is a chase for them. And if they didn't have to put in that much effort and you just give it all, legs wide open and whatever for them, they kind of just lose interest. And they talk about, leaving mystery, and let's just talk about a TV series or a book or a movie or whatever. If you explain to somebody the whole beginning, middle, end, plot, everything to them before they watch it, are they really going to be interested in watching it anymore? Are they really going to be interested in getting to know everything about you when you've already given up the main thing? And not that the main thing is sex, but that piques their interest. And when they've already gotten what the peak of the interest is right in the beginning, it's kind of just dunskies. And that's not 100% the case, but that's majority of the case. And it's just not what I'm interested in. It's not what I want. I genuinely want to get to know someone. Whether it works out or not, I genuinely want to know what kind of person you are, what moves you, what drives you, what your family is like. Are we compatible? What are our goals? What are our values? That's just how I am now, and that's who I want to be. And it's just crazy to think about how we used to be and our habits. Sometimes I will reflect back on like how obsessive I do get sometimes for fun, for dopamine, for the plot. When I talk about like my gym crush or this, that, or whatever, or like, oh my God, he's hot. Oh my God, he's hot. And I guess all of that's fine to an extent, but I do be checking myself, because sometimes I'm like, all right, let's reel it in. Like, let's focus on something else. Let's have dopamine hits for ourselves and things that we want to get done and things that we want to do and who we want to become. So that's what I'm doing now, is reeling it back in because I feel like I've been on my bullshit for the last 2 months and it's been fun. We're still growing and I love that. It's just or are we stalling a little bit? I don't know. But I'm still having a good time. Still having a good time. Still uploading episodes consistently. You know, it might not be out on the dot Tuesdays, but it's always that week, once a week. Very proud of myself and my growth, and we're just going to keep growing from here. And I love that. I love that for me. Okay, I want to just talk about this client that I just did earlier today, and we popped the fuck off on her color. It looked amazing. It was booked for just color. When I walked up and I saw that she was blonde, I was like, I hope we're not going back to her natural, please. And nope, it was retouching her highlights. It looked amazing. The blend, amazing. The color, amazing. Her hair, amazing. And lately, I feel like I've been popping off on my balayages. I'm like, where did this fireness come from? Just out of nowhere. Haircuts, balayage, highlights. I think I'm just learning the colors a little more. So I'm learning just how to perfectly tweak what I need tweaked. And it's been a moment for sure. So what was the purpose? The purpose of this episode was, if we are falling back onto our bullshit, live it, own it, breathe the bullshit, be aware, be kind, make the necessary steps to get back to just get back on track. And don't hate on yourself for that. Because again, progress is not linear. It can't. You're not going to, you cannot keep going up and up and up and up and up. You are going to have to take a pause. You are going to have to take a little break here and there. And that is fine. That is absolutely fine. That's normal. Do not shit on yourself. Be kind, loving, patient. And sometimes that's a little bit of an argument in my head, especially if you follow, David Goggins type or Gary Vee, the men who are very like, go, go, go. Don't be lazy. Don't blah, blah, blah. If you're not waking up at 5 a.m., if you're not waking up at 4 a.m., a little, the more harsh, the more military commander, like, get your ass up. If that works for you, that works for you. Maybe that's more men and their high cortisol approach. I don't know. But as for me, and I would say most women, I think that the best approach is just being kind and compassionate and being aware and being real with yourself. Like if you really are not doing anything, then I don't know, get yourself back up there. But acknowledge any kind of win that you have. Right? I feel like I've been saying I've been back on my bullshit these last 2 months because I've been high basically the last 2 months and drinking here and there, staying up late watching my shows or eating. Actually, eating out has been the biggest thing. Not tracking my calories, kind of just falling off on that mental discipline. But the fact that I haven't completely fallen off, the fact that even if I am going out, I'm not pining after a guy. I'm not looking to see, who am I going to sleep with? I have still continued to grow and still, I'm not sending texts to sweet baby angel. I'm not reaching out. I'm not seeking for validation. I am really just living my life. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As long as you're still growing. There's still some positive out there. It's completely different. I think if you're doing a whole downward spiral where you're not going to the gym and you are drinking a lot and you are smoking a lot, and I mean, I think people can recognize like a bender, right? But if you take a real hard actual look at the life that you're living, and you can't find at least 3 positive things that you actually are doing that is benefiting you, then okay, maybe there's an issue there. But if you can find at least 3 positive things, and maybe it doesn't even have to be 3, maybe it can be 1. But I bet you can find 3. And if you can find 3, then you can do 4, and you can do 5, and you can do 6. It's all about being conscious and living consciously. We're growing. Get rid of that war or that battle that you might be having in your head about yourself. Because if anyone is going to love and be compassionate towards you, it should be yourself, because it's you. It's you, and it's your life, and you're a beautiful human, and we live and we make mistakes along the way, and that's just how it is. But just being aware and being kind and being a friend to yourself, that's going to be key, and that's going to be the most important thing, because you're all that you have, to be honest. You know, we all have friends, we all have our family, and at some point we'll meet our amazing significant others, but we are with ourselves more than we are with anybody. So let's just make sure that we are the type of person that we want to be around. Like, really take a look at yourself. And if you were your friend, would you want to be around your friend? The thoughts that you have about yourself, the habits that you might have. And if you don't, then change it. But don't be hard or judgmental or like hate on yourself about it. Just be aware. See, look, really look and see you. And if you decide there are things about you or the things that you're doing that you want to change, that you want to be different, then change them. Write them down, make little steps, little things that you can do, little baby goals that you can have to shift, and slowly it will just transcend into this amazing, I don't even recognize myself from now. It's April to April. Like me last April, who was she? I don't even remember I can't quite remember what April of last year was about. So, I mean, and not even just a year, but just within 6 months. So what is 6 months? What I'm literally trying to think right now. So 4 months ago was January, and then 2 months ago before that was, what is that? October, November? Yeah, let's just say let's just say from last summer to now, right? I don't even recognize myself at all. Like, she was hurting. She was waking up. The transformation journey was starting to begin last June for me. Oh, I do remember last April. Last April was the first time that I left my ex. So yeah, last April, me to me now, completely different. Very unsure, very like, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing, but I don't really know. And he says he changed and I don't know, like so unsure. Yeah, you'll never see me like that again, ever. Yeah. Oh, baby Lisa. But I feel like from last April to now, it's just been a complete 180. It's been a complete transformation and a continuous transformation journey, healing, loving myself, doing things that are good for me, quitting things that aren't good for me. Like, can we talk about how I haven't vaped in however many months? 3 months, maybe 2 or 3 months. Haven't wanted to, haven't. I've been around, my cousin that has a vape. I've been around friends that vape. I have just not cared to or wanted to. Like, the smell when they hit it smells good, but I remember now, since it's been a while, I remember feeling like shit. So, therefore, I don't want to feel like shit. And I think right now I'm starting to remember, eating out isn't that great. Because lately the things that I have been eating just have not been it. And it's kind of a waste of money, especially if it's not good. So for getting eating out under control, the next thing that needs to get under control is the cannabis intake and then alcohol. And then that's that. All right, guys. Well, I'm just going to leave it right there because I do believe I need to get going. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.